Alrighty, what's going on, everyone? I'm here live with Big Bill McCarthy. Bill, how you doing?
Great, buddy. How about yourself?
Good. I'm just checking to see and make sure that these links are actually working live on YouTube and Twitch. Looks like they are both working, so people can check us out on both spots. Yeah, it looks like YouTube is working as well. All right, so what we're doing, for those who don't know, I threw it in my Instagram stories and try to let people know we're doing a live fantasy draft for the Open Worlds. You know, our buddy Ryan, I think, kind of sold us out on the fantasy league, didn't want to do it for the equipped, so we're going to do it without him. So we have three
It
different.
started with us anyway, so it might as well be us anyway. Yeah.
I kept trying to bother him and bother Rory, like, yo, you want to do it? Like, we can just copy and paste all the stuff from Classic Worlds and then just, change the totals and the names. They didn't seem into it. So we're going to do all three, just us two. We're going to do a draft. We're going to do the confidence point rankings and then some random prop bets I put together. I don't know if you came up with anything, Bill. We can always add it in there. But for now, I guess we can just go with the prop bets that I have.
Yeah, bud.
So let me see if I can pull up my screen over here without my computer blowing up. So I'll do a quick rundown for people if you're watching. If you want to go find more information, obviously you can go to the IPF website, powerlifting.sport. Under championships, you go to invitation, and then you can go down and find the invitation for right here for Open Worlds, and you can see all the information. In addition, if you all go to World Games 2022 over here, then you can read the attachment, which I have here, which goes over all the information as far as qualifying for the World Games. So this is a World Games qualifier meet. So the top three from each of the weight classes get the automatic qualification as long as there's no more than 2 lifters per country for each of those weight classes. So this is what everyone's going to be battling it out for as their primary goal here for this World Championship. So we're going to go over also, you can go to goodlift.info. And then if you go over to live, and I put these links down in the description as well. So if you're watching the live stream, you can check the description. Is you got the timetable, the nominations, the link to the live stream, and also the rooms will open up here. I'll pull up the timetable real quick as well so we can see what we're looking at here. We'll see.
And the live on this too is really nice because at least it gives you the score sheet and the video at the same time, so you can kind of go back and forth and see what's going on. Whereas on the YouTube page, it's only going to be the actual video. So I kind of like to stick with the GoodLift page just because you kind of can see both what's going on.
Yeah, I always do the good lift because then I can just full screen if I want to watch like an important lift and then make it small again and watch the scoring.
Exactly.
And then you have the schedule here. A couple interesting things here is one, Stavanger is 5 hours ahead of us for Eastern time people. So some of this stuff is going to be early. So we're going to be missing out on some of the stuff that's like at 5 a.m. But I guess we'll be able to watch some of the stuff that's later in the afternoon. And then the other interesting part too will be how they're going to do the Eurosport live as far as if that's going to be on GoodLift or not. Because as we saw, like with the Olympic channel, they had a little bit of issues. So we'll see how that goes. But it's interesting. New change for people who haven't noticed or seen the announcements is that IPF is working with Eurosport in order to have some of the sessions on the Eurosport channels. And so they broke it up into A groups and B groups. So like the B group here, 63s and 83s, are the lower nominated lifters. And then the A group 63s and 83s here are the higher nominated lifters that are in a separate session on Eurosport. They'll know exactly what those lifters totaled, and they can pick their attempts based on that. Same thing here with 84 plus and the 120 plus on Saturday.
Have you seen anything about how they're going to split that up? Because this is the first time I've ever heard of that happening at Worlds, where they split it up into 2 different sessions for a weight class. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, because obviously if you showing up the day of and they're like, oh, by the way, you weigh in at 4 o'clock and not 6 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm guessing they have to have split it up ahead of time because you have to come to your separate weigh-in time. So like this says 1,300 for B group weigh-ins and 1,700. So I don't know how they're splitting it up as far as like if we look at the nominations real quick and we go to 63s, let's see how many lifters there are there. So 12, I don't know if they split it, 6 and 6, or do they purposely try and put more in the Eurosport and go like 7 and 5?
Yeah, because normally that would be one session, so that's a weird one to split
That's
into
a
two
weird.
sessions. Yeah.
And then if we look at 84 plus, that one is 13. So then how do you split that? Do you do 7 and 6?
Yeah, because at least the men, it looks like there's 21 83s and only 11 120 pluses. So maybe they don't even do the B session at all on some of those. They might just not even do it.
It depends on how of a
That's
hard
true.
stop these times are,
Yeah.
because they're 2.5 hours. And so, like, how many can they realistically fit in 2.5 hours? So it'll be interesting to see how they do it. And yeah, but then also, like, what happens, for example, the 63s, that there's 12 of them, but what if they don't find out until a day of, like 2 of them don't show? Like, let's say the 2 South African lifters don't show, and then you're down to 10, and then you had it, 6 and 6, but now it's down to 6 and 4.
Right.
Do you
7
just tell those 4 people, like, hey, just come back later and weigh in again? Or do you just roll with the 4 and then you go in 20-minute breaks and 2-minute breaks between disciplines?
Yeah, that's rough. That's
So you're playing a dangerous game there if people don't show up.
yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, we're looking. Whew.
Like on 84 plus, what if like the 2 Sierra Leone lifters don't show up? Then you're down to 11, and then you're gonna do like 6 and 5.
Right.
If no one else drops out, at least with the 84 plus as well, you don't have to worry about them making weight. And same with the 120 plus. But what if like people miss weight and then can't compete?
Yeah.
Maybe you put him in as a guest lifter just to fill in the slots.
Yeah, really.
But at least 83s, you're safe. 120 plus, I mean, as long as everyone comes.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, the 120 plus and the 84 plus, they might do do one flight for men and women, right? Because if it's right, because if there's like 4 men in the B flight and 4 women in the B flight, at least it'll be a full flight of 8 or something like that. But that'd be really weird. That's never happened before.
I was like, if they had just committed to having them all together and did. Yeah, you can do that like in under 2.5 minutes if they had just committed to all the 120 plus all in Eurosport Live one session. But
they're mixed together with the women.
Yeah. So they wanted to give, I guess, 2 weight classes to men, 2 weight classes to women. So yeah, they're gonna have to group that one flight women, 1 flight men. Should be interesting.
And is it going to be 1 platform, I'm assuming, for this? So it's not going to be 2 platforms, right?
Yeah, as far as what I saw from the referee list, it's going to be all 1 platform. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, that'll be good to see. I mean, it's kind of like the prime time at USA Powerlifting Nationals, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So that, again, if you guys want to go see the timetable, description has the direct link to it, or you just go to goodlift.info and then you go over and you can see easy 6 days of lifting with a little opening ceremony. And, decent amount of sessions, at least we'll be able to watch. At least the Eurosport ones we'll be able to watch, good time for us.
Potentially, unless it's blocked out on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, what's going to show up on GoodLift, if they get to show any of the video, or if it's only going to be the scoreboard. And then, how do we access Eurosport? I didn't see any info as far as telling us about how to access it. If they get get the stream on both, or do they have to go to only Eurosport? And how do we access Eurosport? Because here it doesn't say anything.
When the Classic was on Olympic Channel, it wasn't on YouTube. It was on, but the GoodLift had the stream of the Olympic Channel.
Yeah.
At least. So hopefully they at least have the stream of that. So we shall see.
We shall see. So I guess we can hop over to the nominations. Do you want to do a preview of each of the weight classes, or you want to go straight into picking?
Yeah, we can go into picking and then just talk a little bit about the weight classes as we're going, I guess.
All right, so let's see if this random name generator works, and let's see who gets first pick. Big Bill.
Yeah, so the way we're going to do it is basically, since I'm going first, I'm going to pick a weight class, pick the lifter I want in that weight class, and then Arian will have to pick who he thinks going to come in second or pick his lifter from that same weight class. So yeah, I'm going to start off with the 59 kilo class and Sergey Fedecienko, baby.
Of course. Do you have it pulled up so you can type it in, or you want me to type them
Yeah,
in?
I got it.
So now I gotta pick who I want in the 59s. I guess here's where I could talk about it some is obviously Fedicienko I think is going to be the clear winner. I saw his recent total was 745, but his best is 765. The next closest is at like 710. The thing I was bouncing back and forth is Ivan Cancel used to compete as a 59, then he went up to 66s. He never filled it out. He was like 64, 65, but his total went up a lot. And now he's going back down to the 59s, and that 685 total is what he did as a 65 kilo body weight. So it depends on when he decided this move, when he started to cut, if he has the new gear and everything like that. But I know he's doing it because he wants this to be a shot at World Games. Like we said, there's a World Games qualifier, and so his wife Maria Luisa has made the World Games before, but he'd be the first male Puerto Rican to make the World Games, so he's trying to go for that. But I'm concerned about that weight cut. Yi Chun Lee has done 710 recently, and then Franklin Leon has done 692.5 as his best. So I'm a little bit concerned about that weight cut, and I like Lin Yi Chun's 710. So I will go with him. That's my 59.
All right.
So now, you want to say anything on the 59s while I decide my next weight class?
Yeah, I'm just happy that there's going to be more than two lifters in this in the equipped 59 kilo class, considering the classic only had two lifters. It was Fedicienko and then his teammate Yevgeny. So yeah, hopefully there's at least three to fill out the whole medal stand, which would be nice. And they say equipped lifting's dead. Come on.
Who do I want to go with? I guess I'll flip over to the other side and I'll go 47 keys.
Ooh, good one.
And I'm going Fukushima Yukako. It's the U.
Yeah, she's a stud, man. She's been doing this forever, and she's M2 now. I mean, she's won. I mean, I don't even know how many. Let me look it up real quick in a row. I mean, she's been the class of this class for quite some time. I mean, she ended up getting silver last time, but I mean, she's won a handful of titles, throughout. And is it Wadiri? Is that who won it last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, I was trying to pull it up. I don't know why my open IPF was defaulted to pounds. How dare they?
Ooh, that's rough. That is rough.
Yeah, so Wadari won the 2017 in the 47s and then got second in 2018 and then came back and got first in 2019.
Yeah.
And so, going a little back and forth there.
Yeah, so for me, Zuzana Kula from Poland, she is like 21 or 22 years old. She's an up-and-coming stud in this weight class. So, she's a junior world champion, junior world record holder. So she has a decent shot at taking the title in this one. But if not, I mean, she's definitely good enough for second. So I definitely think she's going to give Fukushima a run for her money. But yeah, I mean, the lighter weight classes are so interesting because it's just like they make so many lifts. It's like, the longer the meet goes on, the more lifts people miss kind of thing, right? So you have but it's true. I mean, because it's much easier to tell depth and all that stuff on the smaller lifters and everything. So it's you can almost count on and I say this, and now of course one of them's going to bomb, but like you can almost count on the smaller lifters actually making their lifts and finishing the meet, as opposed to when we get to the heavier weights and we're like, this guy's probably not going to bomb, so we're going to go with him kind of deal. So
I think also as they get bigger, they're getting more out of the equipment because it's more surface and everything like that. So then it becomes a little bit more risky and stuff. Like how tight do you go? Can you get down to depth? And how much are you getting out of it? That
Right.
kind of stuff. Our buddy Matt Roddick says Fukushima, not a bold choice. I mean, the other things too is Tatiana has done 485, but as a 52, so
Yeah.
she's cutting down. So it'll be interesting to see how much she loses off of that compared to the 437 that she's nominated at.
Right.
And then Anja, the best I saw on her was 412, so I'm not sure where the 420 came from. So she might be a little bit off as far as trying to potentially catch Tatiana if the weight cuts too hard.
Yeah, I mean,
But
she did Euros this year as a 47, Tatiana. That's where the 437 came from. So she has made 47 recently. So
yes,
I don't think it's going to be as hard as a cut as it is, but it's also 50 kilos off of what Fukushima is looking at, possibly. So
yeah,
but
it's
you
just
can
how.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's just how long that total is.
How
She
old?
did the 47.5 recently. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright.
All right. You're up again, brother.
Now I picked 47. Are we doing snake?
Yeah, let's just do a snake draft. It'll be easier.
All right. I'm gonna sneak down to the men's side.
Unless you're not ready, I can go.
Oh, well, I'm ready. I'm just trying to build up some suspense over here for our two viewers. I'm gonna go 66 kilos.
Come on.
And I'm going Sergey Glad Kick.
I always like to pick my Sergey sandwich when I do these drafts, bro. Come on. Yeah, this is an interesting class for sure. I mean, I think glide kick is the class of it, but with El Baguetti and Stay Something and Grotzkowski, it's a really, really close battle, for the podium for sure. But yeah, this is tough because these guys are all.
That's why I picked it.
Yeah. And these guys are all they've been there, they've done that, they've all won, they've all got second, they've all bombed, so it's a rough one. Eric Oshie in there. Shit. I'm gonna go with Chinese Taipei. And is it Say Something? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like Shay
Right.
Something. That's how I try and pronounce it. That's why I feel like the strategy of this draft is not only picking someone who's like a heavy favorite, but then people that are like second through fifth are like closely in there. And so oh, do I make the right pick? Do I make the wrong pick? I thought it was interesting that you picked him because I think Hassan El Belghedi with that big deadlift, and he's done 772 recently, could take second. And then interesting enough, at nominated fifth is Yusuke Sataki, who's done 770. Right. So I think he could potentially sneak in there. Shea Something, he's done 796 and a half, but his recent one was 745. So I wonder, is age getting to him? Did he have some injury with squat where his numbers were down? How much of a bounce back does he have? Maybe he gets 755, 760.
Sitting there training hard during COVID times, just ready to pounce on this,
Matt also brings up that he has to do repping. So how long is he sitting in a chair repping? he likes to sit very perfectly straight and do his commands and everything like that. So we'll see if that keeps him in a good spot as far as competing.
All right, so I'm gonna go. I'm going to jump over to 76 class with Marta Elverum from Norway.
Ooh. So that's an interesting class. You had mentioned to me in our discussions that okay, how good is Marta's squat going to be since she's had some issues? So if we go over here to the 76s, if I can find her on here, there we go. So her best squat is 252, which is this one here from 2017. Then in 2018, she bombs out at Europeans, and then
Yeah, that was her.
Here,
That was the first meet without Dietmar, right? That was right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then 2018 World, she only gets one at 240. Then 2019, she gets two, but still at 240. And then recently, again, still only 240. So it's like, well, how much is she going to lose off of that squat? But she always has that monster deadlift to carry her through.
Right.
And then as far as the other names, it's interesting because like Chloe's only done like 2 equip meets and her numbers went up a lot. And she's got a big deadlift, so I wonder if she can like sneak in there and get a World Games spot. But I don't know if it's enough for her to get second. So I think I'm gonna have to play it safe and go with Agata Shitko as my second place person. 628 total.
Yeah, I think Murcienko from Ukraine is very solid in this also, and I think Francesca Pirello, she medaled in the classic a couple of weeks ago, so she got a big squat, so she's one to look out for too for the podium, I think.
The only thing that concerned Marchenko, it's hard to tell like how hard they try at the other meets, and sometimes when it's been a lot of time. But like her best is 610, but her most recent is 585.5.
Right.
So I wonder like is it going to be the sub 600 or is it going to be the plus 600 that comes out for her? Let me pull her up again real quick just to see. Like the 585 was at Euros and she got second place. So I wonder, how much of it was like, missing a squat, missing 2 benches, missing 2 deadlifts. Like it wasn't that she held back on strength. It's like maybe her strength is down since 2018.
Right.
So that's why I think, we might get an upset and Chloe does a big pull to sneak in for third.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to see that. All right. So I'm going to stick with the females, and I'm going to go to the 84 kilo class and Canada's own Rhea Smith. Gonna go for the Stinner.
That one's another interesting one too, because she's done 685 as her best, the most recent 670.5. And then Tatiana Melnick has done 661, but she did that not in 84. She's moving up a weight class. So like she doesn't have to worry about cutting. Who knows how much weight she's put on, if that gives her a boost in the squat and bench press. She only needs a little bit to get in the 670s. And then if Rhea misses a bench and then, has the weaker deadlift, maybe Tatiana can sneak past her. Anki Timmers concerns me. Again, she did 650 as her best, but 585 in her most recent meet. So I'm not sure what's going to show up there. And then Anna, I saw that she had 635 as her best and then 630 as a recent one. So I think I have to play it safe here again. And maybe some magic happens and I get a steal and I go with Tatiana Melnick.
Yeah, listen, if all else fails, pick a Ukrainian because they're quite strong.
It was interesting because I was reading the qualifiers for World Games again, and I saw that whole 2 per country per group of weight class. Each World Games weight class is 2 of the regular weight classes. I'm like, there's going to be so many Ukrainians in there that they're not going to be able to automatically nominate everyone in. So it's going to hurt them when it comes to that.
For sure.
All right, is it my turn now?
You're up for 2 in a row, brother.
So let's see. We did 47s. We did 76 and 84s.
And 84s, I mean, we should mention that Natalie Hansen won't be there. She won 2 times ago, and she got second place last time with USAPL being suspended. And, USAPL being suspended, she won't be going. And she also bombed out of nationals, so she wouldn't have went anyway if they were there.
Yeah. So, I got my antivirus trying to start up. No scans right now. You don't want to know what's on my computer. Let's go with, for my first one, I'm going to go 57 kilo class. And I think I'm going with Daniella Kolechnik. Yeah. What you thinking?
I think I wanted to pick her.
Excellent.
She's definitely the class of this class. I think for me, this is tough. This is tough. I'm gonna go with Kimmy. I'll take Kimmy Jones.
Ooh.
U.S. Virgin Islands.
It's interesting that you picked her because, yeah, I was thinking like, Daniella's nominated 542.5, but she's actually done 575.5. So she's like quite a bit ahead.
Yeah.
But also Erica Bueno's done 547.5 and even 540.5 recently. Then Ellie Steele's done 555 in a weight class higher. So, coming down is always going to hurt her. She's done 505 in this weight class. And then I have Anastasia's done 520 is all I could find on her. So I don't know where the 532 came from. And then Kimmy there, 530.5. And she has the bigger deadlift than Ellie and kind of on point with Erica and Lorenz. I actually had Erica Bueno second, but Kimmy is third. I think she like sneaks in there for that World Game spot.
Yeah, she's been popping up in my Instagram, like I get those virus ads for like the virus clothes or whatever, and she's been in there, so it's just I go with that one.
Yeah. All right, so I got one more.
Yeah.
So we took out 57s. Let's go with I guess we can start making things a little bit more interesting, and let's go to 120 keys.
Ooh.
And let's go with Alexi Pichkov.
So, I mean, I wouldn't argue with this at all on any other year of the last 5 years.
But
Pichkov is a beast, massive total. And please watch him squat because literally this guy will walk out his first warm up and he's shaking like crazy, but he literally shakes like it's like he's going to get smashed by every weight. And then he just crushes 400 plus kilos like it's nothing. It's awesome. So Gorachev, the Russian lifter, the ROC lifter, he's got a really big subtotal, really big subtotal. But he just lacks in the deadlift when it comes to competing against Pichkov. And then Alexander Rubits, who's been the 105 superstar for Ukraine, or one of the superstars. I mean, they have so many, but he's young and he's coming back off of an injury, and he kind of popped into the 120s during Euros, and didn't have his best meet ever, but still competed pretty well. So I'm going to go with Rubits just because he's one of my favorite lifters to watch. The guy's a stud, and if he is healthy, he can definitely shoot for the title in this. So, but again, he's also not going to lose on body weight whatsoever. So he'll be able to tie whoever on that. Because I mean, he at Euros, I think he was 105.5 or something like that. So
I want to put some pressure on you because if you go by the nominations, Ivan is second and Alexander's third. But then you go look and see Alexander Rubits has done 1085 before. So that puts him above the 1077.5. And then if you go look at Tony Cliff, he did 1100 at 120.8. So with a little bit of a cut, obviously he did it in England. He's done 1100, which puts him up in that area. So I was like, okay, let me see who you go with. I actually had Rubits as second and Ivan Gorachev as third. So I guess we kind of agree there.
Yeah, I mean, if Rubits is healthy, he can win. He can win this thing for sure. And also the squat world record's never been set in the 120 class. It's still actually a standard at 430. Actually, I believe it was set once, but then the guy bombed on bench press, so it got eliminated. What was his name from Belgium?
Orhan Bilikan?
Yeah, Billigan or Billihan or whatever. So I would expect a healthy Rubits to smash. I mean, he's hit 430 plus at 105, so I would fully expect that to happen at 120 if he's healthy. And then also Sen Yang from Chinese Taipei is also a massive squatter, and he actually hit the world record in Dubai, I want to say, so 2019, and then it was overturned during the break, so that we didn't find, like, we were watching it and we didn't find out until we came back to bench press, like, oh, by the way, the squat was overturned. You're like, what the hell? So he's a massive squatter too. And like you said, Tony Cliff is had a huge total in this. Sofiane Belkacir has also won world championships at 105, raw and equipped. So like the bowling ball, gorgeous.
And even then, yeah, Tien Chi Sen has done 10:55,
Right.
I guess, and Dobbins has done 10:44. So like, anything can happen. You can drop from 10:70 to 10:30 real quick if you miss a third squat and a third deadlift.
For sure.
Yeah.
And again, once we get talking about the bigger guys too, the more chances of seeing, the inevitable bomb come out of here. So, again, these top three guys could end up being, not making a bench press, and all of a sudden you have, Sang Yi sitting there in first place in the driver's seat. So who knows?
Yeah, it always concerns me too when like a person really relies on one lift. So like you said, Sen Yang with that monster squat, or like Bichov with the monster bench press. What happens if like it's bad calls, or what happens if they're off that day a little bit? All of a sudden they lose so much off of their one lift that they're really good at.
Right.
And it's interesting that you mentioned for open equipped men, there's only one world record that hasn't been set, the 120 squat. And then on the women's side, I believe there's only one as well, which is the 69 kilo total, because it's a new weight class. Okay. So this one, should be easy, but that 120 squat, we'll see if it finally gets broken. Then we'll have all the world records set on the equipped side.
Yeah, finally. Finally. Yeah. Whew. All right.
So I'm up there.
All right. Where do I want to go here? Let's play with, the big guys scare me. What can I say? All right, let's go to the 93 kilo class so we can talk about the best lifter in the whole competition, Konstantin Murcienko, the highest GoodLift IPF points of all time at Euros, 351 bench. The guy's incredible, coming up from the 83s, bulked up during the pandemic, or the ongoing pandemic, but when they had the year off, whatever, and he just put up a massive total. He actually hit a 400 kilo squat, or 400.5 in that, and it was overturned. No, it was called on depth or whatever, but it was damn close. So you can also add like another 20 kilos on top of that total. So if he has the day that he can have, I mean, he can just knock this thing out of the park. And, dude's just amazing. But of course, his biggest competition is someone that's on his own damn team. So it makes it even harder. But go ahead. What do you think, Arian?
I was thinking, like you said, he has his competitor, his teammate, Vladimir, at 10:39. And then you have Dmitry Zarkin there, was nominated at 1,000, but he's done 10:35. So he's right there as well. He just lags in the squat and bench press, and then makes up in the deadlift. So I was going a little back and forth in this, and I was like, maybe we'll get a Ukrainian sandwich going.
Ooh,
so
okay.
I'm going to take Dmitry and Zarkin.
Yeah, so Zarkin had the world record that Murcienko and Risiev both beat at Euros when they were going head-to-head again. The other interesting name in here is Nikki Nielsen Lentz. He has the squat world record at 400 or 400.5 or something like that. And he's like, you look at this guy and you're like, this guy squats 400. You're like, no way. Because he looks like he has like a baby face almost, right? And it's like, red puffy cheeks kind of thing. And but his legs are just like ginormous, and crushes the squat. I mean, he's lacking a little bit in the bench press.
That's what I'm saying.
The rest of the guys and the deadlift. But I mean, again, as far as a squatter, he's one of the top few in the world in any weight class for sure. So that's a good one to watch, because I think the top three of the top four guys are probably at least attempt 400 plus on the squat with Murcienko, Resiev, and Nielsen. So that'll be cool to watch too.
Yeah, looks like he's at 401, and then Resiev at 399 and Zarkin at 390, and then Murcienko at 377. But you said he went for that 400 before 400 plus.
Yeah, so he went for the chip the world record, and he, like I said, it was just called on depth. He actually hit it, and it was fairly close. I think it was 2-1 actually. All right.
It's coming down to the tough ones.
All right, let's go to the 63 kilo class.
Ooh.
So we got Corolla Gara against Larissa Solanikova. I mean, possibly. Say it again. I'm sorry.
You said the wrong last name.
Solaviova.
Yeah, I thought you said Solanikova.
sorry, Solaviova. And it's probably the best potential battle that's out there on the women's side. I mean, Larissa hasn't been beat forever. She's like constantly the best lifter. And then Corolla has come on like a house on fire. She put up the best, was it the biggest total in that weight class at her nationals or something like that? And also the highest IPF points, I believe, or IPF GoodLift points, whatever you want to call them. So she's got that on her side, but then she also pulled out of Classic Worlds for, medical. I mean, I guess she was injured or whatever, or holding back. I'm not 100% sure, but I gotta go with Larissa in this one, even though I just can't. She's the GOAT, man. I can't go against her. I might be handing Arian a first place here, but like, I just can't bet against her in this,
I kind of wanted my girl Larissa. She's my favorite, and even though she's nominated at 6'10", she's really done 645.5 before.
Right.
All I found on Corolla was 625, so I'm not sure where this 630 came from. And then, interesting enough, I didn't really notice it. Taylor Chappelle there at 600. I didn't realize she had moved up. This whole time I thought she was nominated for the 57s because she's only really competed as a 57. Most of the time when she's done worlds and everything like that. And then she did her nationals at 60 and put up the 600. So like she's comfortably in the 63s, doesn't have to worry about weight cutting or anything like that. I don't remember her numbers as far as like how hard she pushed herself to get that 600.
Right.
So like she could, safely just get the third place spot and go to World Games. But interesting enough, like, if Corolla Gara is actually hurt and her numbers are down, her last meet, she did 580 here. Obviously she passed on 2 attempts. Maybe she sneaks into that second place spot, but yeah, I mean the chance of Corolla Gara being healthy and being on point and winning, I have to take that. I can't risk being biased towards Taylor Chappelle, so I'm gonna go Corolla Gara, even though I really wanted Larissa Solaviova.
Maybe we'll make a trade.
All right. Is it back to me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, what can I do to you? All right, this could be an interesting one. I could maybe hand you some points. Some people that we haven't seen in a little while. I'm going to go with the 74 kilo class. And I'm going to go with our boy, Chappelle.
The GOAT killer.
Yep. He's come back for more.
So Shell, not the only man, but takes out Taylor Atwood, takes out Oleg. The guy's just the giant killer, man. What can I say?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, Luke Homer is a strong dude. I just, he's fairly young. He's 25 years old, but I just can't. I mean, I don't care what his other lifts look like. If you're not picking Oleg, I'm picking Oleg, and it's like this is what it comes down to. No disrespect to anybody else, but I'm going to take the goat in this weight class and hope for the best.
Have you looked up like Luke's training numbers or anything like that? I forgot to look it up.
I haven't. He's young and he's hungry, and I'm sure he's going to have a heck of a meet. But again, his last time on the platform in a world stage, he got third at juniors.
The only thing I was like looking up is like unless his numbers are slightly different or something is missing as far as open IPF, his best is showing up as 702.5 unless there's another entry or something like that for Luke Homer.
Oh, interesting.
So that's confusing. The best I found was 702.5. I didn't go look at it like to see if he has an Instagram or what his numbers are. Did we lose my camera?
He's coming up from 66s. Nope.
Yeah, I'm wondering where my camera is.
Oh, you're frozen on my screen. All right, it's the Billy Mack show now. All right.
Can you hear me though?
I can hear you, yeah.
Let me see if I can get my camera going again. Maybe my computer can't handle everything. Did you put in your pick?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I just got to. Five classes to go. Oh, boy.
Let's see if I unplug and replug. You can see my ugly mug again, wearing my Norway shirt for the World Championship.
So it'll be interesting to see here is the Inzer came out with the new Bolt recently again, and the bench shirt. So I wonder how many of those you'll actually see because normally it's a very very high percentage of Titan katana, super katanas, low cut super katanas out there for bench shirts. So I'm just wondering what that's going to look like as far as because supposedly Inzer's making the best stuff on earth now, the best knee sleeves, the best bench shirts. So we'll see.
So our boy Matt Rock saying Luke's squatting 340 on IG, and he's nominated on a 330 squat. So looks like those numbers are legit, and he's progressing well. I didn't really know, so initially I had my picks as Yaroslav Oleg 2 and Sergey Gashinets at 3 because I just didn't know Luke's numbers. But it looks like he's legit, and he's going to be in there in that battle. So that should be interesting that 4 lifters can be battling it out for those top 3 spots. So it's back to me again. And
yeah, looking at this class, I knew I was going to pick either Shell or Oleg, so I kind of didn't really dive into anybody else, unfortunately. Sorry, guys.
and it's interesting. I think Oleg hasn't competed since then, right?
No, he's hungry. He's mad.
So he's secretly hiding. Like who knows what he's been doing? And he lost a lot on those 2 misses at 360. So like who knows if he comes and gets that 360. And then, gets a little bit more on his bench, a little bit on his deadlift, he can be right up there for that, locking in that second place and going to World Games in his 40s.
You mean locking in the victory? But anyway.
Calm down there. Calm down. Let's go. I'll go to another interesting one. Another sneaky one. Let's go 52 kilo class. 2 ROC lifters battling it out, and I'm going to go with Natalya Salmikova.
Interesting
indeed.
Yeah, this is a very interesting class. Anastasia from Ukraine is also one to watch in this. She's I'm trying to look it up here where she ended up last year, but of course my thing's not loading here.
I'm seeing her most recent meet at 480 and her best at 497.5.
Yeah, so she was European champ 2 years ago. Let me see here. Where is she? Yeah, 4th place, the 482 at Open Worlds in 2019. And then I don't know how to say it. Igul I'm not sure how to say her name, the other ROC lifter. But she ended up in second place. Passed her drug test. It's listed there on the GoodLift, so you know that.
It's legit.
Yeah, right, legit. So yes, I mean, if you're taking Natalya, then I'll take Sidikova from ROC. She's a little bit younger, a little bit hungrier, but I think that Solanikova is probably the class of this.
Yeah, I
If I
just figured.
put money
Yeah,
on it, but
I just figured Natalya's like best total is 535, so about 10 kilos more. So she probably just did whatever she needed in her last meet to get that 517. And yeah,
right.
the rest seemed too far behind. Anastasia at 497, and the only thing I find on Frank Maraduno was 488. So
Yeah.
at first I was like, it's a little bit tough, and then I was like, I gotta commit to the champ, Natalya Salmikova.
My turn.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go 83s. 83s. This is going to be a good battle. This is like, you can very much see 3 or 4 of these guys, ending up on top. I mean, you can see any of them land on top if other guys bomb out. But I'm going to go with the defending champ, with Mikola from, of course, my full team here is almost full of Ukrainians. So, I'm going to take Mikola from Ukraine, but it's going to be a very, very good battle because Newt Douglas, Alex Huber, Evgeny are all super strong guys, nice totals, can really be a battle here for sure.
Yeah, and some actually like higher numbers than what's listed there.
Yeah.
Like Mikola has done 927, and I believe Newt's also done 927. Yeah, right there, right beneath. So they both actually done 927, and then Evgeny has done 932. So some lower numbers there in the nominations, and then Alex Huber, I saw the best he's done is 910, I believe.
I mean, it's a good class when those guys are over Ed Cohen there at number 12. So
yeah, then you got Gene Bell, the King, and then Jose Castillo, Mike Bridges.
Nice.
Interesting. Riziev and Shell over here.
Nice.
So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. And I like the PR totals are higher and much closer. So 932, 927, 927. So I didn't know who I wanted to go with this one. I thought you were going to take Newt.
So go back to that list really quick and look at number 17.
And your boy.
Pick him he's not even there, but I'm gonna pick him to win anyway. Just at least a podium.
I like this whole list, man. Dimitri and Zarkin down here. Buyani down here.
Yeah.
From 2006.
Oleg in there. It's good.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with my bias here. Newt Douglas.
Get it.
And interesting because I'm going to go out here on a limb and say how I think this upset's going to happen. I got Newt as 1, Evgeny Vasikov at 2, and Mikhailo Barnik at 3. So I got your boy at 3rd.
There you go. More points for you. That'd be good. There we go.
All right, who else you got?
I'm up.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive into let's see, what are we missing here? All right, 105s. Let's go. I'm going to take Ian strictly because of the deadlift. I'm just going to, he'll load up what he needs to win at the end. So I'm going to go with Ian Bell there. I think it'd be a very, very cool story coming over. USVI, him and his dad, right? His dad's the going to be the coach / referee for the team. So I think that'll be pretty cool that he's there. But it's going to be a battle for sure. Kovalov is damn strong from Ukraine, but I'm
Yeah.
going to take Ian on this one.
Yeah, I mean, Kovalov is strong. Like, I saw 1020 as his recent meet, but he's done 1042.5 in the 120s.
Yeah.
So, a little bit higher total, but also weight class higher. Then Ilya Maslov, I only found 992. I didn't find the 1,000. But then for Sergey Mashinkov, I found 1030 as his best. And for Zalim, I found 1037.5 as his best. Though I believe those were like a little bit farther as far as the timeline. So it's interesting, what these guys have been up to, what kind of numbers they come up with. Like Zaliv here was 2017, where he did the 1037. So it's been a number of years. And then Mashinkov, or however you pronounce it, was also 2017, where he did a 1030.
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, and obviously Rubits being out of there and jumping up to the 120s. And then Semenenko from Ukraine not being there, who's been a standard in the top, 2 in that class also. So it'll be cool to see someone else other than a Ukrainian win this class for once.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
I was trying to go between. Actually, Sergey's done 1030 at 2019 Worlds, and then went down to 990, and then Kovalov, or however you pronounce it, did 1020. So those were the two I was actually deciding between, and I ended up going with Sergey. I gotta get my Sergeys in there. Mashinkov.
All right. I like it.
Sergey the Machine Gun Mashinkov.
The machine. I'm the machine.
I'm the machine. So I love an upset there with him being second and then Danilo being third, and then I think potentially Ilya would be like fourth, since I found was 992.
Yeah. And then you see a Mongolian listed towards the top, and those guys are so strong, but they just it's been getting better, right? I mean, 5 years ago when they were showing up at Worlds, it was like this guy's bombing for sure, right? Regardless of who it was. I'm not saying anything bad about this guy, but they finally getting some better coaching over there and everything like that, and they've been harnessing their lifts much better, actually, training and competing to standards and that kind of stuff. So it's good to see them there, because that's a country you wouldn't normally see at a powerlifting world champion kind of thing, which is cool. The other one I think is pretty cool in this is the Belgian guy, Jerome, and he is like a chocolate taste tester or something like that for one of the big companies over there as his job. So I mean, he's not going to play a factor in any of the medals or anything like that, but I just think it's funny that he just got one of the best jobs in all of powerlifting, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a stacked top 5 lifters, and then you got the Mongolian lifter there. It's interesting. You got 2 Swedish lifters here, and I think Eric Gunham has actually done more than that 950 there. I think he's showing us 982 and a half. So
Right.
he might be in there as well. You got Slovakia in here, Iran in here, Kyrgyzstan in here. So this is definitely a lot of lifters from a lot of countries, some interesting people in here, some big names. Should be interesting.
Yeah, I
So
know Eric will be in the hunt for the deadlift world record potentially. So
yeah,
I know
let's
that's
see.
what his big lift. So
Yeah,
um,
372, and people were questioning Ian's deadlift there at nationals. So
yeah,
we'll see what he pulls at Worlds, and with those referees, what kind of numbers he gets there.
yeah, totally.
So my
All
turn,
right.
huh?
I think I get another one. I think, right?
No,
Did I
didn't
pick
you take?
83s?
Yeah, you picked 83s, bro.
Okay, you're up. So,
Better be.
so all right.
I'm gonna go. We're getting down to the tough ones here.
And they're all tough for God's sakes in this, but
And this one, maybe a little bit of a hype train coming, but I'm gonna go with 84 plus,
all right.
and I'm gonna stick with Hildeborg Hugdahl.
Yeah. She's the class of this one for sure. I mean, she's been doing it for a long, long time. I believe she came back from like a career-ending injury recently to compete again, and um, so the top three here with Hildeborg, Daria, and Soleil from Iceland. First of all, Daria and Soleil are very, very young. They're both in their 20s or 19 years old, whatever. But they're all so hard to judge depth on because they're much bigger women, which is much harder. The big legs are really hard to tell depth on. Same thing when we talk about the men in a couple of minutes. It's just so tough. And you have someone like Ilya coming up from the 84s who's going to weigh in at 90 kilos ish or something like that, where she's going to be much more convincing on everything. I know Soleil, she bombed out of Europeans recently, and she was the heavy favorite, or was she the favorite or not? I don't remember, but I know that she didn't get a squat and wasn't even close on depth. So I'm actually going to take Ilya in this one. I'm going to play the I know she's going to get a squat in card here. And plus, I mean, obviously she has the pedigree. I mean, she's been doing this for a long, long time. I mean, she's almost an M2, but yeah, I'm going to go with Ilya on this one. She's not the strongest, but she's out of the top four. She's the most technically proficient. And I know she's not going to bomb out.
We were waiting for it. We were waiting to see when it happens. Wild Bill has officially come out. Yeah. Nominated 4th at 635. And you think she's going to sneak in for the win?
I mean,
or second.
She's going to finish the competition. That's what I'm talking about.
I figured, the second and third place, especially third place, is like just secure third place, get to World Games. Second place for Daria, like she might try and push for the win, but also maybe play it safer on the squat, like you said, not bomb out, because once you bomb out, you're out of World Games. But if you can get at least one squat in, and then you can kind of push a little bit more on bench press and deadlift, maybe try and get the gold medal. If not, just take second. So I could see potentially second, third, just playing it safer to just secure those spots and move on, since that's like everyone's primary goal. Imagine you're what, 20 or 21 years old and you get to go to World Games.
That'd be pretty badass for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it might happen soon with the University World Games coming up anyway. So.
Hey. So I got one more, huh? And then you can finish it off for us.
What we got left here?
We have 69s and we got 120 plus. 69s, 120 plus.
All right.
I'm going to go with 69s. I'll leave the 120 plus for you.
All right.
Did you throw your pick in? Because that hasn't shown up for me.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I did. I just didn't hit enter. Sorry.
And I'm going to go with, between the battle of Anna, Sonya, and Kelsey, I'm going to show my bias and take your cousin, Kelsey McCarthy. The comeback.
Well, good. That makes me feel better because at least I don't have to pick from here then. So at least you picked one of my two people that I was going to pick. So it makes it easier for me. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Kelsey's a beast, man. And, she is coming down from the 72 kilo class. But I believe all of these women are coming down. So, yeah, it's tough. But, so Sonya Stephanie Krueger, I mean, she's 22 years old. She's got the potential to be the future in this weight class, and she could be the present too if she shows up and puts up a good day. She got a monster total. She's got a really good bench press, really good squat. She's got a good deadlift, but she's going to put up a big subtotal. And she should be in the lead by the subtotal at least, and then possibly defend off of that. Because, I mean, the only other women really with massive deadlifts are kind of down the line a little bit, like Catherine Bach and Ivana Horna listed at like 8th and 9th kind of thing. So Anna's got a 225 deadlift listed, but like I'm pretty sure she missed like 210 at Classic Worlds recently. So I don't put too much faith in that 225 listed on the nominations. So I'm going to take Dietmar and Stephanie Sonya Krueger for my pick.
Nice. For the 84 plus, Matt saying Daria's going to win. So he's making his pick.
Good. Listen, I have no doubt she can win. But it's just that, it's that potential of like, I know Ilya's going to get me in this, 12, 9, 8, 7 points, whereas a 0 is like devastating, right? So like that 1 or 2 point difference of that. So that's kind of the thinking. So it's not as wild as you think. I'm not saying she's going to win. I'm saying she's not going to bomb out. Therefore, score me points.
What concerns me for Anna Rosa is her performance at Classic Worlds. Like if all her squat and deadlift were the main ones that were down, the bench was kind of on point, 130 versus her best is 132. So It's like, okay, if her squat and deadlift are down raw, is she going to take a hit as well equipped? So that's what like concerns me. Then what concerns me for Sonya, Stephanie, Freddie, Krueger is just the missing attempts. Like, Bench Worlds bombs out. Here at European, she only makes 1 squat. And then, here at a German meet, she bombs out. Here at Junior World, she gets 1 squat, 1 bench. You go further back here, like Europeans, 1 squat, 1 bench. Like I was like, that concerns me a little bit. Like, what if she starts missing squats and benches versus Kelsey? I'm hearing her training's going well. She's on her way back towards this 680 total that she did at 69.9. So I think she could be, 665 to 675, which could be enough to take out Anna if her numbers are down. And then Sonya if her numbers are kind of the same or maybe even a little bit up. Kelsey pulls it off. So I actually have Kelsey 1, Anna 2, and Sonya 3.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think Kelsey does win this. But if Sonya, if she goes 9 for 9, it could be like a massive total because she does miss so much. But the chances of, having a perfect day in that, is pretty slim to none in an equipped day. But we shall see. That's why it'll be fun. It'll be a really good one to watch too. So that'll be nice. Especially with Kelsey being a former world champ, and Anna being a former world champ. So that'll be cool. And of course, the new weight class, and then they're probably all 3 of them will break the world record total also. So
yeah, I was like, Sonya's 1 too, just in the juniors.
Yeah. Oh, I guess Ivana's 1 in the classic also. So
hey, all right, best for last.
God, man, like, so there's no way I'm picking Konovalov. He fucking screwed me out of Classic Worlds, 10th place. There's 0 chance I'm picking him. I'm angry with him. J.K. Johansen. This is so friggin' hard, man. This is like, like legitimately the guy will pull 400 plus kilos, no problem. But is he going to get a bench or a squat in? I have no idea. I'm going with Andrei Shevchenko from Ukraine. He's more consistent. I'm fairly certain he's going to get at least something in on everything there. I think Joe Cap, like, love him. From what I've seen, at least his training's been down. His numbers are down at nationals. Carlos Campos, again, same thing, like had a great meet at Masters Worlds. Was it Masters Worlds? NAPF, sorry, yeah, where he hit the Masters World Record total, I believe.
Yep, 1075.5.
But he just, again, he's another one that just like, he's like a wild card. You never know what's going to happen with him, right? Um, you know, Ahmed again. You know, could we see a 500 kilo squat possibly from him? Yes, very possible. But again, it's just his first time at World Championships, and his deadlift is down from everybody else in here, so it's going to be really hard for him to pick up positions because everyone can kind of jump over. I mean, when you're looking at JK is listed as 115 kilos above him on the deadlift, for God's sakes. So yeah, I'm just going to take Shevchenko and hope for the best. It looks like Ray Bowering. I mean, Dean's son. He's 19 years old in World Championship. That's amazing. Yeah, this is a cool class, man. This is a really cool class. But yeah, give me Shevchenko, and then I'll let you pick from the rest of the.
I was definitely questioning it too. It's like Andre's done 12:30, but his most recent is 11:55, and then he did terrible at Classic World. So you wonder if something's up. JK's best is 11:48, but recently he's done 11:05. Shevchenko, this is his best and most recent. So I was kind of thinking too, like, should I take Andrei Shevchenko? Should I take the upset?
Have you seen Cannavalo's video recently where he's like has the 25 kilo plate? So he's like squatting shirtless, and he takes the plate and he just puts it on his belly, and he like just lets it go, and he's like so sweaty that it just sticks to his belly. He walks it over to the rack and puts it in. It's pretty funny.
I didn't see that. We could have played on the live stream. Manolo, like you said, he had a great performance, but that was 1075.5. So this 1115 isn't a legit number. And then Joe Cap, he's done 1170, but like you said, dealing with injuries, his numbers are down. It sounded like maybe he hadn't been squatting that much lately as well. And then Ahmed, again, yeah, his best total is 1080, not this 1100. And you're on these nominations, you're already taking into account, okay, you already have the 500. So even with taking into account the 500, he's only at 6th place. So what if he doesn't get the 500? Then he might be further behind. So it's hard to pick him as well. So I went with, I'll start from 6th place and go up just to make it interesting. I went Manolo. 5th place, I went Ahmed. 4th place, I went Joe Cap. 3rd place, I went Andrei Konovalov. 2nd place, I went Shevchenko. So I'm taking JK. I'm going with that big deadlift. So it works good for us. JK Johansen, I think he's going to pull whatever he needs for that gold. Because I think he'll already be locked into top 3 off his second deadlift. So he'll have his world game spot, and then he'll go for broke for a world record in the 1st place.
Yeah, absolutely can happen. 100% can happen. But literally, like, every time you watch this guy, and I'm just like, come on, man, just get the opening squat in. Come on, just get it in. And he, like, the first 2 he'll miss on depth, like, all the time. And then it's always like a dramatic third one where either he gets it or he doesn't, kind of thing. But it's happened so many times with him. But yeah, no, I hope he wins. I mean, I hope they all win. I don't know.
Can't everyone just win? Yeah. You're like, hopefully they all bomb out.
Well, I like how you picked the top 6. Like, there's no way one of those guys is getting a 0. I mean,
wait till we get to our prop bets.
With the heavyweights, we see it all the time where it's just like, let's just get through squat. I mean, again, because this is on like the Euro sport, whatever. Like, legitimately, if there's the top 7 guys are in that, right? I mean, this has happened before where like, 3-4 of those guys are they're out by squats, and it might be a 3-man race at the end. Who knows?
Yeah, like if you do 6 and 5, so you got the top 6 in the Euro sport. First of all, that's like very, very quick as far as between your attempts, and then 20-minute break to warm up. And then, if like one guy bombs out and goes, I don't want to go anymore, then you're down to 5.
That's going to be brutal on these guys. I mean, because like 11 would be like great, right? They would be happy with that, to have all 11 in there, just to have the time for the wrapping and all that stuff, whatever. But, it's rough. That's going to be rough. If there's like, 6 or 7 guys in that flight, that's going to be rough.
Maybe they'll they'll change the rules for Eurosport and give them like, go a little bit slower between rounds
Yeah,
and like, give them 30-minute break between disciplines.
they get 90 seconds per lift instead of a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe give them like extra time so they can do like a recap after each attempt. Who knows? They might bend the rules.
There's a lot of
Otherwise,
Ukraine on my team here, man. A lot of Ukraine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shit.
and that's what I was like saying as far as like world games. Like, let's say Shevchenko gets in and then Pichkov and Rubits gets in. Okay, that weight class is fine. Here, you got Kovalov gets in and then Murcienko and Risiev. Okay, that's fine. 3. So, oh, sorry, it has to be 2
Yeah, it
per.
has to be. Yeah, it's 2.
So one guy is going to be out, I think, on points. So like out of these 3, one guy doesn't get the automatic in.
Right.
Then we go to this one guy doesn't get the automatic in.
Right.
Could be Kovalov. Then we go down to this one. You got 2 in the top 5. So
But
these
they've
2
already
guys
had 6 guys, so they're done.
and then they have no little guys. They got all big guys. So it's interesting that they put all of them big guys in, and that some of these guys are going to be on a alternate list and see if they can get in.
Okay, so that makes a lot more sense now with Rubits, I bet you, because he probably hopped into there because he's going to beat Shevchenko on points, right? Whereas he's not going to beat Rusiev or Rusiev or Murcienko on points.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, so I bet you that's probably what they were thinking there, is to get all of them in. But yeah, we'll see. Who knows? Because he's going to be super light, so he probably wins that. He's going to win the 120 and 120 plus on points probably.
For World Games, yeah.
Right. So, I'm saying right. He'll probably have the highest IPF points for the 120 plus, even though he might come in second or third.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
You want to do confidence points?
Yeah, we do that.
I mean, we don't even have to throw the lifter in there, but you can write the lifter in there too if you want. Should we start with
we're picking winners, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying like we already kind of went over who we won, but we can put them in there anyway.
Yeah, I got you.
We already know what our picks are. We just don't know what our points are.
Gotcha.
You want to start with 16 and work our way down then?
Yeah, we can do that for sure.
Because I think 16 should be easy.
Fetty
Wops. Let's see if we can make this a little bigger. All right. 15, I have Fukushima.
Oh, okay.
Who you got?
We're going with glide kick on that one.
Ooh. Well, I'll go next because 14, I got glide kick.
Yeah, Fukushima.
Oh. All right, you go 13.
Sorry, hold on. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm got Murcienko at 13.
Ooh.
Strictly because he's, I don't know. It's a rough pick. It's a risky pick. I mean, he's like, again, I think he's the best lifter in the world right now, but he could still lose.
He just scares you.
Yeah.
I got Kolechnik.
Yeah.
At 13. You want to go 12?
Yeah, so I had Kolesnik at 12 actually.
I have 12.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Yeah, it's tough, but like, I had to pick it somewhere. And then I'll go. Are you gonna go 11?
Oh yeah, I had Martha at 11.
I have Rhea at 11.
Yeah. Same thing. I had her at 10.
Ooh. I have Shell
I
10.
like it.
I'll go 9. I got Solanikova at 9.
Yes, that's so tough, man. Like,
See, I try to throw my points into the lower weight classes.
yeah, no, totally. Yeah, again, if Gara is not 100% healthy, then yeah, I mean, Larissa's probably a 13, 14, 15, on our scale here, but yeah, that's so tough, so tough. I have Salonikova at 9.
Oh, copycat.
No. The 50,
Soloviova?
52. Sorry.
Yeah, I have Solonikova 52
Oh,
at
I
9.
thought. Oh, sorry. I thought you said. I'm
No.
sorry. I misunderstood what you said.
I thought you were trying to say you were going to put Larissa at 9, but it's too risky with Corolla Gara.
Gotcha. I thought you picked Larissa at 9. That's what I was saying. Forget it.
At 8, I have Murcienko.
Okay. I have Kelsey at 8. McCarthy.
Ooh. You have lots of trust in your cousin.
Yeah.
At 7, I got Newt.
Okay. This is where I put Shell in here at 7. JELL.
All right, you want to go 6?
Yeah. So I took Bishov at 6.
Yeah, pronounce it correctly.
Sorry, how you say
Yeah. No, I don't know how you pronounce it.
it?
I just like saying it that way. I put a little subtraction of our points here to see which ones were most different in. Like 74s were 3 off, 93s were 5 off. So we'll see how it goes. My number 6. I was like, I made a mistake. I was like, I put Pichkov in the wrong. I was like, why is that off? And then I have, obviously, it makes sense now. I got Ian Bell as my number 6.
All right, you got Ian winning too. All right. Okay. Yeah, like this is so tough. Like, I mean, like, is Hildeborg going to win? Yeah, most likely, right? I mean, but like, it's just you can't trust him. You can't trust him.
Is that who you have for your 5?
No. I'm just saying, like they're much higher, like confidence to win if they wasn't worried about hitting depth on a squad.
Yeah, plays into it.
Yeah, for sure. What number are we on? I'm sorry, 5.
5.
Yeah. So I had with the 83s, I had Mikola.
Nicola.
And then I had Ian at 4.
Damn, you jumping ahead.
Oh, sorry. I thought you picked 5 already. My bad.
That's fine. I'm just messing around here with some color coding. My number 5 is Larissa Soloviova. And then my number 4 is Hildeborg Udall.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's still in my, lower quarter as far as confidence in her, but I have to put her somewhere. Who you got for 3?
This is where I have Larissa at.
Ah.
And most likely too low, but That's how highly I think of Corolla Gara.
Yeah, for me, it's more just like the potential injury if
Yeah.
she's over it and how healthy. My number 3 is Kelsey McCarthy.
All right.
Because not too sure it's going to be an interesting battle. How much she put back on? Who you got for 2?
Hildeborg.
Oh.
Number 2.
I don't know. I don't know why I just didn't have confidence in her. I got Marta at 2.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, she's been really not running too well the last couple of years. So
It's just like, if that 252 squat drops down to like 240, then you got Agata Shitko right there.
yeah,
And it's a battle all of a sudden. So, and then like, on Delif, it just depends on that third pull, like that world record pull, like if she can lock out with her weird like one knee and then the other knee. But at least she has the monster pull and she can chip the world record, whatever she needs in order to get that win. But
yeah, I'm
I went
assuming.
with
I don't know what the world record is at 76, but I'm assuming she'll be able to chip it.
and then I'm guessing we both have
Yeah, I mean, I have Shevchenko.
JK.
I mean, it's like pretty much every year we do this. It's yeah, heavyweights. I mean, it doesn't Blaine against Konovalov or whoever. It was always, we always pick them last, pretty much.
So it looks like my most confidence compared to you is Pichkov in the 120s, and then your most confident to me is Marta.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
and
fairly
again,
high. I'm Murcienko as well.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's friggin' yeah. Again, it's the Ukrainian against Ukrainian, right? In those two classes, where it's like, okay, who's gonna win?
Yeah, it's like for the most part, we're pretty even. It's just 120s, 69, 76, and
Yeah.
93s.
Mm-hmm.
You're biased towards your cousin.
That's right.
That's right.
All
All
right.
right. You ready for some prop bets?
Yes.
Have you looked at them?
Yeah, I went over them real quick when I saw.
Oh man, I thought I was gonna surprise you.
I mean, I didn't like study them at all. I just
Yeah.
kind of looked over them real quick before we started.
All right. So first one, Ahmed Hasanan, is he gonna squat over under 499.5 kilograms?
I'm gonna go with under on this one. I think he squats 500 or 500 plus, but I don't think he gets called on depth. I think he gets called on depth, so I'm going to say under.
So you think he stands up with it too?
Yes, I think he makes it, but not to standard.
You got to hit enter, man. You got to lock in your pick.
Right.
There we go.
All right.
I'm going to match you, and I'm going to go under. It just seems like, yeah, his squat's progressing nicely, but yeah, potentially the depth and the travel could affect him a little bit. Yeah, maybe he gets like 45 on his second and then tries to go for 500 his third and misses it or gets called for depth.
Yeah. I mean, what's the world record? 515. So I don't think he's going to sniff that, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not going to plan on trying that. So hopefully he at least tries the 500, which would be cool. So that'd be.
Here's an interesting one, and we can take out the limit. Let's just say USVI lifters that get top 3 and get like the automatic invite. Yeah. Over under 2.5 of them get that World Game spot.
Men and women combined?
Men and women combined.
All right. Over.
You going over?
Yeah.
Yes, I was trying to pull up the list real quick here so we can go over which lifter we're talking about. So on the women's side, we got Kimmy, Taylor, Sarah, Kelsey, and Chloe. And then on the men's side, we got Chris, Alexis, Newt, Greg, Ian, Scott, and Joe.
Yeah, I think we should change this to 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah.
You still think it's over for 3.5?
Yeah, I think.
Who you got on the women's side?
So, Kelsey, Well, I mean, Kelsey, Ian, and Newt, I think, are in the top three for sure. And then I think Joe and Kimmy are going to be right there for, and Taylor too. Shit. Yeah, so I think I'll definitely be over 4, over 3.5. So I think they're in a good spot to get upwards of 5 or 6 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, definitely possibility with like Kimmy could sneak in there, Taylor could get third, Kelsey can get top three, and Chloe could potentially sneak in there. So you got
Right.
like four that have a shot. On the men's side, like yeah, Nuke could get it, Ian can get it, and then Dobbins or Joe could sneak in there depending on the craziness of those depth of those weight classes, people bomb out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'll go with 1, 2, 3. All right, I'll take the over too. I'll say 4 of them will make it.
Yeah.
I think like Kelsey on the women's side, I think Kelsey and Taylor will get in, and on the men's side, I think Newt and Ian will get in. I took like the safer picks still get you 4. All right, over under 19 and a half athletes bomb out. Let me look at the count again real quick. So we have this. I went off of 227,
Yeah.
and let's say it drops down by the time it happens, let's say 200. So I was saying like 10% bomb out, which gets us like that's why I went with the 19 and a half. So you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first on this one for
Oh,
sure.
oh.
Hold on. That's a big over there.
It's like interesting, like just in general equipped, but also whether who plays aggressive for world games or who plays conservative.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen weight classes that have had 5+ bomb outs in it. So, but yeah, I think over for sure in this one. 16 weight classes. You're only talking 1.25 per weight class to get there. So, I think that's a low number.
I think maybe you convinced me, especially with how Bench Worlds went. Over.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the question is, are they using the new Alico benches here?
I would assume so that they're using that new equipment.
I don't know what the deal is, but I've never seen so many butts coming off the bench before. So I don't know if it's a little bit lower than it was before, but still the standard, obviously, but just in that lower range, or if the pad is different or whatever it is. But like I just watching Bench Worlds with the classic and the equipped, like it was just butts constantly just in the air. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. All right. JK going over or under 405.5 kilo deadlift.
All right. Well, you picked him to win, so you go first on this one.
We're talking about making it.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up real quick so our two raging fans can see. He's nominated at 405.5, which is his world record. So it's potentially that he could go for the world record, or he can go for the world record and the win, or he could go for the win. I'm going to say under.
Oh, interesting. So you think he's going to win and also pull less than the world record?
Yeah, because I think these other people will have their numbers drop, and he'll just pull wherever he needs to hold on to the win.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go with the over here, just because I think he's either locked into a place and just goes for the world record, or he puts it on the bar and 435 to win or whatever he needs. No, but I mean, I could see him breaking this on the second attempt, to be honest with you, and then seeing what he needs if he's in a good position for World Games already and everything. So
I was trying to see his attempts. Like 2018, he did 405. Yeah,
right.
2019, he did on the second, and then missed the 420.5.
Yeah.
And then most recently, he jumped from 390 to 420.5.
Yeah.
So you potentially could match something similar to this and go for it.
Yeah. So I guess I'm trying to remember when I watched the Europeans. He locked in third place and then he just went for the win. He didn't care, or something like that, with the 420.5.
Yeah, that was this one right here.
Yeah.
And those are
Yeah, I mean,
some big jumps from 455 to from 355 to 390. Here 370 to 405.5. 340 to 390.
jeez.
So yeah, he could do like 375 and then like 406 and then 420 or whatever.
Yeah. So what place did he come in there in Dubai?
Third.
Third. Okay. Yeah. So he basically were there, right? He kind of locked in that third place with the 405.5 or whatever, if I'm not mistaken, and then just kind of shot for whatever. So I could see him doing something like that where he just throws on 406 on the second, and then for some reason that 420.5 seems to be the number he wants. I don't know. I mean, what the significance is of that, but
425. I was like thinking maybe it's like the biggest deadlift of all time in IPF
right,
meet.
yes, that's right. Because what's-it-call-it did 420. Mr. Deadlift, Christoph.
I guess in recent times because Constantine, I guess, did 430 back in 2006.
Yeesh. Yeesh.
But even then, for like the I guess he was a super. I was like, there was a lot of supers that have done like the 410.
Yeah. Look at this list. It's like, Benny Magnuson on there and stuff like that. It's great. Milanichev.
Doyle Kennedy.
Zadrunas is on there.
Mazaros, I think he failed the drug test.
Brad Gillingham, baby.
O.D. Wilson. This guy apparently was massive that they couldn't even weigh him in.
Oh yeah, OD. Yeah, I mean, he was a fixture in the strongman competitions.
Yeah.
So there was one year where he was going to win World's Strongest Man. Like he was winning going into the last event, and it's like as long as he didn't come last, he would have won. And the event was like run a 400-meter dash. This guy was like a 440-pound dude, and like they had to like carry something for like 400 meters, and he basically like barely even finished, and he ended up obviously losing that event. That's pretty funny.
All right, for the next one, I believe she still has the world record. Hildeborg has the bench press world record. So let me pull that up real quick just to double check. Yeah, so she has the world record at 227, but she hit it all the way back in 2014.
Yeah.
And since then, she's like missed it a number of times. And I think bombed out once trying to go for a big bench, I believe. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. So that's why I'm going over under 227. Oh, she bombed out in squat in 2016. But she got the 230, but she had bombed out. And then
232 at bench only.
Yeah, most recently, like, 212, 215, 220, 222, slowly working her way back up.
All right. Well, I'm taking the under here because of the new benches.
Oh, based on that.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah.
I was just going to go based off of the battle.
Yeah. Makes sense too.
So far, we haven't disagreed. I didn't make these hard enough.
But I think she's also going to be in the it'll be in her wheelhouse to like go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, her 5 or 7 kilo jumps, whatever, I don't think is going to make that big of a difference. She's not going to sandbag it too much. You know what I mean? At the end. Yeah, and again, it just depends on if she makes her first 2, even if she attempts it, for God's sakes. But
yeah,
I just think that there's been so many problems with these benches. I don't see very many big bench PRs popping off.
You and your bench conspiracy.
Right. That's right.
You're like, it's lower, it's harder. They flashed a little light to see their butt come up.
Yeah, get Oscar on the phone and see what's going on over there. Like,
All right, next one. Marta Elverum has the world record delf at 249.5. So over under, does she break her world record?
Ooh, I mean, she'll be strong enough to do it. The question is, does she need to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I'm gonna go. Yeah, over. Send it.
Send it. Did she send it to 250 or did she send it to like 255?
To the moon.
Unfortunately, we continue to agree. I'm gonna go over because she did more than that, I believe, recently.
Right.
I think she did the 250 in a local meet recently. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Marta. Yeah, she did 250 in August, is it?
Right.
So, figure I'd go over.
Yeah.
And then our last one, which pretty much we kind of already know, unless there's some kind of a extreme situation. But the 69 kilo world record total is empty. Who ends up with it? Maybe you can kind of throw an idea as far as a number as well.
Interesting here. So, like, I guess the question is,
It's only 627.5.
yeah. No, I mean, they're going to blow it out of the water, right? The
Mm-hmm.
question is, what other world records are in play here? All right. So, are there going to be other chips involved, or is Kelsey going to pull at the end to tie and not get the world record total, but still win?
I mean, the squat should be in play at 248.5.
Right.
That one should get blown into the 250s or 260s. You know,
All right. So
bench
we'll have.
bench
So
is that 178. Sonya could break that.
yeah. All right. So there are chips in play. So got it. All right. So I'll go with Kelsey on this one. Again, if there wasn't chips in play, then maybe I would have been like, you know what? I'll take Sonya for second place and let her have the world record, but Kelsey will have the world title. Or unless they change that rule.
Yeah, I mean, based on these lower 69 kilo numbers, like they're all actually in play for the squat world record. They're all in play for the bench world record.
Yeah.
And then Catherine Bach down here is in play for the deadlift world record.
Right.
So we could potentially see all 4 world records broken. And so you're going Kelsey. Did you have an estimated total?
Oh yeah. Let's let me see what we got here. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'll put it in there. Oh. All right. How about
Not going to look at your number yet. I'm going to guesstimate. Kelsey
okay.
goes 265.5. Let's say she matches her bench press. And then let's say she ups her deadlift a little bit. 660.5. Oh, 673. I guess it really depends on how much her squats improve because that's her best is like 20 kilos above her nominated.
Right.
With the 660.5 because Anna's number could be total could be down. And then, Sonya could be up there in the 640s, 650s.
That was the world record at 72 that Anna hit. It was 661, I believe, at one point.
Yeah, that's her most recent because she actually hasn't done equipped since that Pan Americans down in South America.
Since that miracle weekend she had, that was amazing.
Yeah, and then the interesting thing too is she hasn't done like an equipped world championship or anything in some time.
He's holding out for world games, man.
Maybe like if you pull up her list here, yeah, she did the Pan Americans here in 2019. Then she did an Arnold bench here in 2019, and then you got to go all the way back to 2017 World Games.
Right. Yeah, that's it. She's holding out for it. Where she won World Games. So.
Yeah, she won with 635, unless she did some kind of other Fasupo meet that's not listed here, but it seems unlikely. And then, yeah, that 661, where she scored 255.5, which is over the world record now for the 69th, and she benched 180.5, which is over the world record for the bench. So.
And somehow pulled 225.
Hey, you said she couldn't do it.
Yeah. I said you couldn't do it now.
I get you too, because that same weekend she did 214 on deadlift, and then here she missed the 210 twice,
Right. Well, that's
and
when
the
she broke.
200 she got overturned as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that weekend was like the best weekend of all time, right? She broke like the classic world record on like Friday, and then Sunday broke the equip world record. It was amazing.
And she weighed in a little bit lighter. I think it was in that order:
Yeah,
70.5 for the classic, and then she did the equip 69.9.
it's crazy, crazy. Yeah, that's good. I like it.
So we don't disagree on anything on the prop bets other than the total. But at least we disagree some on the confidence points.
Yeah.
And do we have
that's
any?
pretty different.
Do we have any picks that were different? Oh,
Yeah,
I guess we Newt.
Yeah, what was it?
Newt 120 plus, and then 83s. I guess are the only two.
Right. So it really just comes down to who
And then
we
the
like
draft.
where.
The draft will be big though.
That'll be good. Yeah, so we're going to do the 12, 9, 8 points, right? Like IPF scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how many zeros go in there.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, we'll have at least one each, I think, for sure. So.
Are you following any of the fights for tomorrow?
No, who's up tomorrow? Is that Usman and
Yeah, I forget if it's 268. Yeah. Live at Madison Square Garden.
Kobe. Wonder if Trump's going to be there.
Let's see.
What we got?
Do you know Gaethje and Michael Chandler?
Frankie Edgar's back, baby. Let's go. I might buy it now.
Dude,
Shit.
Let's start with the first fight. Gaethje and Chandler. Do you know those fighters?
I know Gaethje. I don't really know Chandler, but
it's because he came over from Bellator. Was it? Where he was
Gotcha.
like the champ there.
Oh, he's from Florida. He's definitely losing then.
And then he came to UFC and he knocked out Dan Hooker, and then he fought Charles Oliveira for the title, and he got knocked out. So this will be his third UFC fight.
All right.
You going Gaethje?
Yeah, Gaethje for sure.
I'll take Gaethje as well. Do you know Shane Burgos and Billy Quarantillo?
Again, I know Burgos. I don't know Quarantillo.
Are you going to take Burgos?
I mean, yeah, because I don't know who the other guy is at all, so I would go with him.
I mean, I'll take Billy the Quarantillo. Then you got your boy Frankie Edgar versus Marlon Vera.
Jersey strong, baby. Let's go. I mean,
should you take a Frankie?
He's not going to win, but yes, I'm definitely taking Frankie.
Let's see what kind of losing streak he's on. I think it might be like 4 or 5, if I remember correctly.
Dude, the best about Frankie, man, he was on
3 out of last 4.
You remember MTV True Life? You remember that show from like the 2000s?
Yeah.
Like he was on that. Like I Want to Be a Fighter when he was like an amateur becoming like a small pro. Yeah, right there. Boom. And then all of a sudden, like, a couple years later, he's a friggin', champ. He beats BJ Penn in was it Abu Dhabi or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tom's River, baby. That's just like 20 minutes south of where I grew up.
I was gonna say, how close are you? Yeah. All right, I'll take Marlon Chito Vera then against you. And then you got the championship fights, Rose versus Zhang 2. Who you got?
I do like Rose in this one, but I could see it going either way, to be honest with you. But
yeah, because so many people are thinking like, Rose got like a good kick in.
Hey, it only takes one, man. It only takes one.
Yeah, but what if you don't get the one this time? I'll take I'll go with Doug Rose as well.
Yeah.
I think she's taller, longer, strategic, everything like that. If she goes a distance, she'll win the rounds. And then we got the rematch, baby. Kamaru Usman, Kobe Covington. Who you got? Choose wisely.
No, I have liked Usman since he was on Ultimate Fighter when it was like what was that team? The two Florida factions they had. It was a top team against was it Black Zillions?
Yeah, I think so. I forget.
Yeah, I think he was on that one. Then I kind of been a fan of his since that. So I'm definitely taking Usman.
Let's see if it comes up. Yeah, top team versus Black Zillions.
Yeah.
They both actually switched their coaches and their camps recently.
Oh yeah.
Because Kamaru says there's so many fighters there that he can't get the one-on-one that he wants, and that the coaches are gone for actual fights so many weekends that he also doesn't get the help. So he went to somewhere else. And then Colby changed his plan too. I guess he didn't like his coaches weren't as direct with him. So now he's down in Miami with a camp down here. So should be interesting. Both of them change. I can't say that I liked Kamaru Usman from the very beginning. I didn't know really who he was, and then some of his fights, people were saying they're a little bit boring, but he's really picked up the pace. He's knocking people out. He seems a little bit more relaxed and stuff like that. Kobe, I mean, I never was a fan. He's good at talking shit, I guess. He's down in Miami now at all his Miami uniforms and everything like that. He came out with some teal and pink suit or whatever. It says Miami on it.
Nice.
So I'm gonna go Kamaru Usman.
Mm-hmm.
We're both picking the champs to defend their belts.
Even though your boy Kobe's from Miami now, all right.
Yeah, he's living down here, Maybe I'll bump into him
at the club.
Colby Ray Covington.
Oh God, that's perfect for him.
From Cali,
fighting out of Miami, baby. Go back and scroll down. Let me see the undercard real quick. I thought I saw Ally Quinta on there.
Yeah, oh, against Bobby, baby.
What? Jeez. I mean, they're just bringing some guys back now, huh? This is crazy.
Well, also Ali Quinta hasn't fought that much lately. I don't know if it's just he hasn't been able to train or if there's been what the issues were. Oh, but gotcha. 2019 was his last fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he was fighting every 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, when he got that Khabib fight, he was the star.
I love how he fought Diego Sanchez and those guys. That's great. Yeah, damn.
And then the only other one I know is this up and comer Ed Shabazzian.
Mm-hmm.
I think he won. Ultimate Fighters. How he came in. Oh, he won the Dana White's Contender Series.
Nice.
But then they put him against some tough guys. So he beat Brad Tavares, but then he lost to Derek Brunson and Jack Hermanson. So
is yeah, is that Volante? That's Matt Serra's guy, right?
Probably. No? You know all the Jersey boys, huh? I mean, he's out of New York.
Yeah. I think it's one of Matt Serra's guys.
Serra. Yeah, Serra Longo fight team.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was a legitimate, semi-legitimate, this guy could be something at one point, a few years back. But not no mo. Now he's on the Facebook fights.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you're doesn't want to scroll for me anymore.
Broken.
Yeah. But I was when you're 12-5 or 13-5, come on. Maybe he can't handle it. But it looks like he's lost a lot more lately. It won't let me go up there. Let's see if I try it one more time. But 17-13.
Yeah.
Lost to Shogun. Ilir Latifi.
Yeah, it's legitimately in there that 2017 he had a chance to be something, it looked like. But guess not.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he got a couple wins here. Right. Kind of try to bounce back, and then it's
what's his nickname? Isn't he? It's a funny nickname. I feel like. Say no.
He doesn't even get a nickname.
Yeah, for some reason I thought he did. But whatever.
Let's see if Google says anything.
If it's not on Wikipedia, it doesn't exist, right? I mean, God.
That's why I was good at Wikipedia.
John Vellante.
Gian Piero. I'm going to remove your nickname, whatever. Should be interesting. I think there's some boxing on too, but I don't watch boxing at all.
Yeah, I haven't watched boxing in a minute. What did someone just sent me something yesterday? It was like oh shit, what is it called? Like backyard beefs or something like that, or what is this? What is it called? Street beefs. Have you seen this yet?
Street Beats?
Street beefs. It's on
Oh,
on YouTube.
I
It's
never
basically
heard
like it's like backyard like boxing MMA fights.
of it.
Um, someone said it's like, yeah, it's like I've been watching these are great fights. Like some guys are really, really good and some guys are really, really bad. Street beefs.
2.4 million subscribers.
Yeah. It's kind of like a better version of bum fights. Remember that?
Yeah. Like I says, our matches are 100% legal. Interesting.
That's a good one to get. You can get on there and check some of those out.
Yeah, I can watch these before I get into the UFC fights and boxing tomorrow night.
Well, I mean, you're coming from the Kimbo Slice area, right? So
Yeah.
you're used to this stuff.
Kimbo and Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah, nice. And Kobe Covington. Got it.
Now Kobe Covington. Son of a bitch.
Oh man, yeah, street beefs.
We made it. We made it basically 2 hours without you being disrupted by the kids.
Yeah, they're sleeping. It's good. I mean, Jill didn't text me, so I guess. Damn. Oh. All right, you got anything else for me? What you got?
Nah, I think that's it. I mean, we watch some UFC fights Saturday, and then we get ready for Open Worlds on Monday.
I like it. I like it. Maybe we should pop in and do a like first couple day recap or something like that. If you're not going to do it every day, maybe we'll do one like Wednesday, Thursday if you can, or something like that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, maybe Wednesday or Thursday would be best because then I got to drive up to Orlando on Friday.
Oh, you got the Special Olympics.
Yeah, Special Olympics meet at the ESPN Wild World of Sports Complex.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got like 8 people competing this weekend down in Virginia. One of Sabres meets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we can do it like after this Wednesday Eurosport, either Wednesday night or Thursday.
Yeah, that'd be good. 76.93. Yeah, we'll do one like Wednesday, then maybe do one on Sunday or something like that.
Yeah, because even this Thursday, if they're on time, that's going to finish 2 p.m. for us.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, we'll plan on something like that Wednesday-ish. That'll be good because then we can do half Wednesday, then a half on Sunday or Saturday.
So for our millions of fans out there, they got to make sure they subscribe so they can see the breakdown.
The millions watching at home. It's time.
They heard all this Kobe Chaos coming to talk, and they all started tuning in.
Nice.
All righty, we'll end it here, and we'll see if we do it Wednesday or Thursday night.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, see ya.